Agent Albatross here again with the Cypher Unlimited crew. We have our usual suspects of AD or Alpha Dean. We have Spigs18 or Anthony. And as a quick reminder, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. It'll help us out a lot. So Dean, what are we doing here tonight?
Oh, tonight's a night where we're going to talk to our community. These great folks that support us. This is just a pinprick of the almost 4,000 members we have here. But, tonight we're just going to say hello to some friends, shoot the shit, talk about gaming, talk about Monte Cook Games, let them talk about things that they want to talk about. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around and we're going to get everybody to introduce themselves. I'm going to start off with Sam. You can go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are on the server.
Oh, hello everyone. My name is Samuel Kaufman, and I would say more, but as you can see by the start, I'd rather be writing.
Nice.
I also go by the name Samuel K. Kaufman on the Discord server. So yeah.
I like it.
And
Keep it simple.
Yeah. Next in line, Stormbringer. You're muted.
You're muted, buddy.
You're muted.
I'm Stormbringer. Sorry. I was trying not to get background noise. All right. I'm Stormbringer on the server. Stormbringer here. I'm also known as Mike, so I'll answer to Storm, Mike, or Stormbringer.
Urizt.
Hello, I go by Urizt here on Cypher Unlimited in Discord. Big fan of all things gaming and happy to be part of the chat here this evening.
Oh, we're happy to have you.
All right, welcome. None other than the illustrious Jesus.
All right, I'm Jesus, also known as the Brilliant Loser. I am a clever creator who designs games, and I'm here to hang out and talk some Monte Cooks.
That's how you do an introduction right there.
And last but not least, Jason.
I don't know if I can follow that up, but I'm Jason. On the Discord, I just updated to JamXRunner, which is the same as I was on Twitch. Just doing home games and newly switching over to Cypher.
Oh, there.
Awesome.
We got a newbie.
Welcome to Cypher.
We're definitely going to bring that up because I think that's going to be a great topic to talk about. And,
New blood, new game master mutt and new blood. I like it.
Yeah.
So Anthony, it's all on you, brother, man. Bring it home.
First off, welcome. We absolutely love when we do these community meetups, because one, we get to put faces to the names that we chat with on Discord. So it's always awesome. Some of you like Jesus and Mike I've played with before, and some other ones are now hopefully going to be great. See you, friends of mine. As well as all the other people that are become great friends over the Cypher Unlimited community. So the first question I'm gonna ask, just to get the conversation ball rolling, is, how did you guys get introduced to Monte Cook Games and the Cypher system? And I'll lead it off with Samuel. Samuel, how did you discover Monte Cook Games?
Well, okay, so back in the early 2000s, I was actually, if you want to go by the cliche, a wee little boy who had little to no idea what he was doing with role-playing games at the time. So back then I had seen something about Monte Cook's tallest setting, but it was not this book, of course. It was back when it was 3.5e, give or take. Anyway, so back then that was my first introduction to Monty and his stuff. Then a number of years later, probably a decade or more, I ran into his Numenera setting and the rules for the Cypher system that came from that. At least that's how I think it goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so you started in Numenera, right?
I actually didn't. I didn't get much of a chance to play the Cypher system because I was more of a regular D20 guy at the time. But I am going to fix that.
Well, you at the right place if you want to get into learning Cypher System or play in Cypher System, because the Cypher Unlimited Discord server has 4,000, almost 4,000 members, and we love to play games with everyone. And I'm sure somebody will run you through Numenera or play in one of your Numenera games.
Actually, I
Jason.
haven't even.
Oh, go ahead.
Let me sorry. Let me rephrase that. I haven't even gotten the Numenera books at all. But instead, I started my product journey with the new Talus book, and then I started back in the Claim the Sky setting.
Nice.
That book right there. That book right there.
Yeah.
All right, we'll definitely get into
Good
a
book.
deep dive in all the books, but let's let everybody into answer the question initially. So Jason,
Sure, yeah.
how did you get into how did you discover Monte Cook Games?
So I only started playing role-playing games 2014. One of my friends or new friends at the time, coworker introduced me to them, introduced me to 3.5 D&D. And right away I wanted to be a DM. I wanted to be a game master. I wanted to build worlds and do something. And I already came up with a whole homebrew idea. So I just jumped right into building my own world and everything, and making homebrew classes and everything, and diving in deep. And then one of my coworkers, he told me he's been playing D&D for years, started with like 2nd edition and stuff. And I started telling him about my world, and he's just like, "Oh, that sounds very similar to Numenera." And I was like, "Okay, what's that?" And so I looked it up, got a PDF, and just fell in love with the art and everything, and then the story. And but until recently, I started going and actually reading on playing Cypher, and I've done a couple one-shots, but looking to start a new campaign that's coming up soon.
Oh, that's awesome. I always love to hear people's origin story when it comes to gaming, because there's like so many different like avenues of how someone could fall in love with a hobby that I've been in love with for almost 40 years now. So it's like, it's awesome to hear, everyone's gateway drug. For most people, it's usually D&D, but it's always great to hear someone's, introduction story. Hey, Suze, how did you get into?
How did I get into Monte Cook Games? I'll just start with saying I'm a World of Darkness kid. Grew up playing Werewolf with a few friends. Honestly, it was just Halloween. I was looking for a horror game to run. I go on Drive-Thru RPG. I'm not really seeing anything I like, and the first thing that I run into that's generic is Cypher System, core rulebook. So I decided to look up how do I run a horror game in Cypher? And I found a video of Cypher Unlimited where you guys talk for 2 hours about how cool it is to run horror in Cypher System. And I put it on in the background while I was, washing dishes and stuff. And it sounded awesome. So I got home, I bought the book, and I think I joined the Discord server the same day. And that's when you were looking for players for the box.
Oh.
So I hadn't even looked at the rulebook yet. I think I hadn't even purchased it. And I was like, you know what, I'm in.
So I was your first Cypher GM?
No, yeah, I hadn't even read the rulebook yet.
Oh crap! Yeah, I ruined it for you.
No, you were great. All right, so yeah,
That was a fun game.
that day it was just like, all right, I'm just gonna go into that game. I'm just gonna, on my way to work, just watch an introduction on how to play Cypher System, and I'm gonna see what happens.
Just a quick thing. You say you watched one of our videos. Did you watch me and Dean argue for 45 minutes? And
I think it was an hour, and then Al was just like, I haven't seen that one either. That was pretty much the video.
Yeah, I have not seen many things.
Urizt, how did you discover Monte Cook Games?
So it was fairly recent in the grand scheme of things. In the middle of 2021, my wife actually discovered a play group that she started playing in a homebrew sci-fi campaign of using the Cypher system. And that was tied to a bigger community where they had a larger game going on, and the role play was just a slice of it. And she played that for months and was telling me all the fun things about it. And I had been wanting to actually play Dungeons and Dragons for many, many years. I had made a few attempts to get local groups going in the past. The most recent one was ages ago in 2013, I think. And getting a Dungeons and Dragons group off the ground just never worked for me. But my friends and I, we all played tons of World of Warcraft, other video games, lots of Magic the Gathering. So huge amounts of fantasy gaming happened. And then I was able to get in to some of the games that my wife was playing in the sci-fi setting. And I'm like, this is awesome. And then the time zones just were awful. Most of those players are over in Europe. I'm over here in Canada. So I said, I can do this. And I came up with my own fantasy homebrew setting West Marches game in the Cypher system that I've called the Betwixt. I've been running that since the beginning of December, and we are just looking down the barrel at session number 5 coming up this weekend.
That's
Great.
awesome.
Are you great?
Is it the group consists of your wife and so is it a family group or is it a
So my wife has played some of the games, and one of the guys from the European play group has played a bit, and one of my wife's other friends and 2 of my other good friends that we go way back. We've cobbled together a group from around the world to play online via Discord and Roll20.
Yeah, that's the beauty
pretty
about modern age gaming. It's, the distances mean absolutely nothing now. If you want to roll, funny shaped dice all
Exactly.
across the world, you can make it happen.
And one of my friends that I've been playing my Cypher games with has said to me that the Cypher system gameplay is the game he was trying to play previously when he had a D&D group that I unfortunately wasn't involved in 10 years ago or some such. It's just, the game just runs so smooth.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Mike, aka Stormbringer, how did you discover Monte Cook Games?
You're muted again, buddy.
Mike,
Been gaming since the late 70s. Various groups, always trying new things. Was out trying to find a light system. Knew who Monte Cook was. Came down to a couple different systems, but Cypher really won out for me. And I really haven't been playing. You are also my first GM.
I corrupted all these.
You're
I feel
also
bad
my
for you.
first GM. So no, I mean, it was a perfect intro. I've GM'd and played and done all those things. I actually had GM'd a game before I played with you. So for a group that I've been in for 20 plus years on and off. So yeah, I'd like to thank you guys and thanks for having me.
I mean, for those who don't know, I've mentioned this on multiple streams. Mike was one of the players in my 5-shot Tolus adventure that just finished last night at like almost 2 a.m. I was so tired. But Claire from Infinite Construct was also, that was such a phenomenal game. The ending was so awesome. Everyone did such a great job, and I truly enjoyed everyone that played in that game. And Claire threw the monkey wrench in the whole plot at the very end, and decided to unleash all the demons of the world onto the plains, and that's where we left off at. So, thank you so much, guys, for playing in that. I just want to say, because I know Claire's in chat.
Yeah, thanks, Claire.
I will say real
just so
quick.
if anyone who has it, if you want to learn about Numenera on YouTube or on Twitch, please check out the Infinite Construct channel. That is the place to go for all information Numenera. She is a plethora of knowledge when it comes to Numenera, its lore, how to play the game, everything. So definitely check out Infinite Construct on YouTube and on Twitch.
But what I was gonna say was that you're also my first GM, Anthony. Just to get that out there. I mean, people have probably heard that before, but yeah, you were also my first GM for this stuff.
Yeah, I feel bad for all your guys. I actually had an adequate GM as my first GM.
Dang it.
Well, Anthony, you were not my first GM.
Yeah. Moses was Dean's first GM.
It's not my fault. It just happened that way. I was, you know.
So here's another question that is going to bring up. How did everyone find Cypher Unlimited? How did you find the Discord server?
For me, that was because I was looking for stuff to back on Kickstarter, and I came across the tallest game setting. I mean, but anyway, yeah, that's when I came across it. You guys via Tallest and via everything else that was going on.
Oh, that's awesome. So you found this on YouTube?
More like I found you through the Kickstarter campaign that was going on at the time.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, it still surprises me every time that, you know, Monte Cook Games mentions us in like either like some kind of article or, you know, Kickstarter or something. It still blows my mind that we're like that connected with them. Sorry, that's a random aside, but it still boggles my mind that like that happened. That's a thing that happens.
Your guys' videos showed up in the recommended videos after I actually watched a few episodes of Monte Cook GMing in Numenera, the Bearing the Light campaign.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
I listened to the first little bit of that, and I'm like, who are these guys? Oh, they've got a video about the rules. Let's check this out.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure I watched the same video because that's exactly how I got introduced to you guys.
Oh, that's awesome. And then you joined the Discord server because we actually started in reverse. We started out as a server first. And Darcy Ross, who used to be the community relations coordinator at Monte Cook Games, told us in passing, hey, you guys are hilarious. You need to do a show. And then the rest is history. I told Alan and Dean, and then we started bullshitting about gaming on camera.
Yeah. Me and Anthony argue on air. Yeah.
But we argue off air too. So
there's nothing. This is not something we just do for the show. You know?
That's wasted potential. You could film that as well. That'd be amazing.
Every time. Okay.
Al actually has it. I think Al has a hidden video of me and him like going at it.
I think I do, but every time they do argue when we're off camera and about to start or something, I always just say, like, after they calm down for a second, I'm like, you know, I was recording that, right? Oh my god.
So Jesus, how did you find the CU? Oh, you told us basically.
I kind of already said it. Yeah, you were the first thing that showed up when I Googled how do I run Cypher for horror? How do I run horror in Cypher system?
Oh, so Ernst, how did you find the CU?
Yeah, it was recommended on the Bearing the Light video.
Oh yeah, you told us. So Mike is the only one that hasn't spoken. And I bet you Mike is muted.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I didn't mute. I'm going to let you guys make me mute from now on. All right. I just did some Google searches. I was looking at how to play, and you guys came up, and I started watching you guys, and I had to be a part of this community. I mean, and check it out. And you guys sold it all to me. I just can't thank you guys enough. Thank you for having me tonight and having this service out there. Anybody watching, I know we don't have a lot of viewers right now, but you know, if you can support this community, that'd be great. I'd love it. I try to do it, and you know, these guys are giving up their free time, and I'd like to see it grow. So please
I really appreciate that sentiment.
Thanks a lot, man.
From your lips to God's ears.
But even if all your support is just you know, watching and sharing videos, you know, that's awesome too. So don't think it has to be monetary or anything like that.
Hey.
Just being here, chatting it up with us, hanging out, that helps a ton too. Hey, Passion, what up? It's a buddy of mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, but we're good.
Yeah, no, I was
Yeah.
just gonna say that none of this was ever done for the sake of, like, we never expected to even have 100 people on Discord talking about games. We never expected to have, you know, direct one-on-one contact with Monte Cook Games where
Not
we
at
could
all.
like literally call them and request things. It literally started out as, hey, we tell some funny stories, we tell some kooky one-shots, and we want to play with more people. Let's create a Discord server. And then, you know, we met Dean through that when there was like 20 people on the server. And then, you know, Dean joined the family, and then everything just like steamrolled.
It was,
You know,
it was like Anthony said, it's really crazy because I just met these guys, you know, they were just like out promoting the Discord. They were like, hey, come over here. You like Cypher Unlimited. I mean, you like Cypher. Well, we're Cypher Unlimited. I'm like, you like Cypher? People
and it
don't know
didn't
about
hurt that
Cypher.
we were the loud New York guys that pretty much.
Yeah. You know, and then we went to the convention and, you know, I think the rest is history.
Yeah.
So that being said, let's go around the table and talk about people's gaming experience, you know. So
I think you kind of hit that though, right? Maybe you
yeah,
wanna,
we did a little bit already.
I mean, let's talk about this because I think this was mentioned a couple of times. It seems like we have a really mixed group. We have you know, Mike has been gaming since the 70s, right? And then we have some guys that are brand new to gaming, right? What do you guys think that separates Cypher System or Monte Cook Games style games from the other games you played, and why has it attracted you to, you know, the narrative style of Cypher System?
All right.
Who wants to start? You know, why don't we start with the other resident old guy in the group, Mike?
Yeah, as I said, I've always been out looking for stuff. I like the narrative aspects of it. I'm still trying to get the hang of it. I have played Fate, but Fate just isn't crunchy enough. I think this just has a little more definition around it, so it makes it easier, and it was an easier sell for my group. We also tried Fate. They didn't like it as much. But it's just the right mix for me. It's just the right amount of crunch and the right amount of openness for I can just, you know, slap things around and say, oh, we're not doing this, but we can do this. And it allows me to say yes more. And I think a good game master needs to be able to say yes more than they need to say no.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is definitely awesome points. Yeah. It's just there's as a player, it's just such like a great amount of mix of narrative and crunch that it's just at such a sweet spot.
If you know, we're gonna move on. Sam, you're gonna be next, but I just wanted to add in there. There's an article by Charles Ryan that literally addresses it, and it basically says that the rules were built for the players, not the GM, and it rings so true because the rules rein the players in. It gives people just enough things to, you know, plug and play, and gives the GM that freedom. And all you do as a GM is kind of implement those rules to tell the story. It's brilliant. So Sam, I'm sorry, go ahead, Al.
No, I was gonna say Cypher. I think what attracted me to Cypher, just, you know, because we all talking about it right now, is that, you know, I started in the end of 1E, but I made my bones in 2E D&D. And if anybody that played in that era, you know that it was more rulings over rules. So that was the era I grew up in, where the GM, you know, arbitrated on the spot rules to keep the story moving forward. And I think Cypher has sort of like that, you know, it comes from that essence of gaming where, hell, you know, I don't know every rule, right? And I've been gaming since Numenera started, but it doesn't stop the fun. It doesn't stop, you know, like you don't have to have every rule memorized in Cypher System. You could just make a ruling and look it up later, And that's sort of like the philosophy of the system, which is what drew me to Cypher System in the first place.
And then when you said that, that's like true too. And sometimes the ruling you make at the table might end up sticking and becoming a house rule anyway, because it just works well. So say,
So
Sam,
what do you guys think about the Cypher System, and why did you think it attracted you to it? Maybe
Sam.
Jesus.
oh, I was saying, giving Sam a shot.
Oh, Sam.
Okay, so in my case, what drew me to Cypher System was, well, you know what? I really don't have a good answer for that one because my ability to answer that on the spot is down the pooper. Let's just put it politely.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
we can go around and you can take
Yeah,
another
we'll
crack at
swing
it.
back around.
Yeah.
Come on, Jesus, you take over.
all right.
All right. First of all, I've played pretty much any system I've heard of. I've played Call of Cthulhu, I've played World of Darkness, new and old. I've played D&D 2nd edition, 3rd edition, 3.5, 4th edition, 5th edition. I haven't played first though. I don't think I will. Played Pathfinder 1st and 2nd. I've played a ton of different Powered by the Apocalypse, all this kind of stuff. I think Cypher is the only system where after playing Cypher System for the first time, my GM style completely shifted. The other day I was playing Pathfinder and someone failed a skill roll and I'm just like, okay, you fail, but how about you can succeed if you take 2 away from your stat for the rest of the adventure, or like you succeed but something horrible is going to happen later and I get to just cash that in. And there's just all these great abilities you have as a GM in Cypher and as a player to just make sure everyone's having a good time while also controlling the narrative that I really wish was in every game. And it's just what makes Cypher so unique to me. And it's why I always find myself coming back to it.
Sweet.
Yeah. I think you brought up a great point of the empowerment of like mechanics like GM intrusions and player intrusions to affect the narrative is very freeing for both a player and a GM.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Urizt,
So, what drew me into the Cypher System once I started actually reading about it, I kind of mentally compared it to my old 3rd edition D&D monster manual, and I'm looking at a page for a creature, and they've got all their stats, all their skills, all their abilities, and there's so much to it. And I'm like, okay, if I want to have a horde of goblins attack my party, I gotta worry about all these numbers. And it always felt like too much for me. I loved playing Magic the Gathering because it was less mathematical than D&D, because you have power, toughness, mana costs as opposed to so many different stats. And the fact that Cypher System can boil down so many things to the level and the challenge rating, and it's such a powerful streamlining, and it's what makes anything possible, whether you're piloting a spaceship, fighting off enemy fighters, or trying to knock down the front door of a dungeon to get in there and kill the whatever else is inside. It's clean. You can your narration can lead the way. You don't have to trip over all the things that all the crunch of other systems.
nice.
I like the explanation of clean. That's a very good way.
And as Al and I and Anthony and many others are so fond of saying, Cypher System is simple, but it's elegant.
Mm-hmm.
It has a nuance about it, not just in you as a GM and not just as players. The system and everything itself is so nuanced, and so it gives you more, but it costs you less to get to that more.
Mm-hmm.
If you kind of get it. So
Exactly. Like I remember reading old modules that the library had them, the old D&D module books. I would check them out and read them, and the amount of detail that had to go into such minute things, it did scare me off for quite some time. and like I could play Baldur's Gate on the PC, and it's just as crunchy, but the computer handles it. So you just you move and attack and turn down the difficulty. But with Cypher system, it's great. It's like it's kind of like what you what the other fella said. It's easier to say yes. I read somewhere that in this system, it's so easy to say yes or just roll some dice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like you barely ever have to say no. Sometimes you do, but maybe I should say that more. But still.
Yeah, you guys mentioned like old modules. Just so like I think one of the reasons why old modules were written the way they were is because everyone was learning how to role play together, right? Now that we have this, 40 years of gaming experience, I can look at an older module and within 20 minutes extract 80% of, delete 80% of what's in the module to its core base and say, hey, this is what I need to know. But back in those days, no one knew how to run a game. So they had a different job. They had to explain to you step by step, like, this is how you tell a story, and I can understand how someone would be overwhelmed reading modern, the old modules now. And I think some of that just carried over into modern game design. But I do think that there's some beauty in those older modules, because they literally explained what was in the what underwear was in the sock drawer, the handmaiden.
Important. What if you need it?
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
So Jason, tell us a little bit what draws you in about it.
I hate to keep copying Urizt, but it really was the simplification on and the how easy it was on the GM to run and build. Like if I have to come up with a random NPC that the party wants to put a fight up with in Dungeons and Dragons, it's a little bit more difficult. But with Cypher, it's just okay. I just think of a number between 1 and 10. All right, there's a challenge rating 2. He's got, he's got 6 hit points, and we move on from there. It's so easy. I think that's really what's kind of drawn me now is to GM a Cypher system game is just the ease of prepping and just running. It seems I have a kid, and it's just like my time is limited, so like let's cut that all out and just get to playing a game.
Nice. Good stuff.
That's awesome. I think chat brought up a great question. Did you see the question, Al?
I didn't.
You talking about the one about their
What
favorite
genre?
genre
Yeah. What's everybody's favorite genre to play?
in Cypher?
Okay, before we get there, I have to answer the question that was asked before by you guys because
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
If you have one, yeah, go for it.
what drew me to Cypher overall, the lore. Because to be honest, I'm more of a novelist these days than I am a gamer. Because I want to tell stories. I want to make sure that the stories are told properly and such. But how can I do that as a gamer without making my life more cuckoo than it has been already? You know what I mean?
It definitely makes things easier, so it's less stressful on your mind. So it's definitely a nice system for that.
When you speak about lore, are you like talking directly about Numenera or the Strange?
Any of the games that actually, not just Numenera or the Strange, though I have yet to get those two for that matter. I'm more talking about the rest of the books too. To be fair.
Yeah, you had Tollus there, right?
Yeah, I have Tollus. I have,
Playing the Sky, yeah,
Boundless.
Boundless in the back. Any of the splat books all have a mini setting in them, So, they do write up, some really good stuff to get you started there. If you have any of the Worlds of the Cypher System books, those are full on settings. So yeah, it's a lot of lore out there.
Yeah, I do have it Unmasked, Predation, and Gods of the Fall. Yeah, but let's not go into that right now. Let's go back to the question. Let's go back to the chat question then.
That's actually a perfect lead-in, Samuel, to the chat question. What's your guys' favorite settings in Cypher System?
I'll go first, just to get the ball rolling. I love Predation. Everybody knows it. I have recently started really liking my Genesis X Numenera setting as well. I'm very excited to run it tomorrow.
I'm excited to play.
By Genesis, do you mean the tabletop role-playing game by Fantasy Flight Games or something else entirely?
Genesis is a tabletop role-playing game by, damn, I'm blanking on the company right now, but it's a post-apocalyptic game.
They're German-based.
Okay, my mistake.
Yeah, it's a very, very awesome setting. The books are amazing. The art is fantastic. We bought it at Gen Con 2018. Yeah, they're phenomenal books.
Okay.
I mean, I think everybody knows our favorite settings. I mean, personally, if I'm gonna go setting, like what I think is the best setting, like just sheer lore of the setting, this might surprise some people. I might go Gods of the Fall, but my favorite genre to play is horror. And I think, everybody knows I'm a sucker for horror games. I'm a sucker for hack and slash. I'm a sucker for supernatural, anything.
And you guys all know about me and superheroes. I don't know if anybody doesn't know. Well, I'm going to say it again, superheroes. So if it's superhero related, it's in my wheelhouse. I mean, as disappointing as Unmasked was on many levels, it still had enough, in there to make me be able to run, a lot of stuff when it came to supers. And now I got Claim the Sky, and I'm so happy. So yes, yes, supers, and supers. Yeah. So
how about you guys?
Mike?
All right. I like, well, I play so many things. I like so many things. I guess we all started with fantasy, I think, because that was the only thing it was. So I guess that's held on for a long time. But I like it a little darker, AKA my name, which I don't get a lot. If you don't know what my name is, it's some of you that are younger. Stormbringer is the name of the sword of Elric of Melnibone, it's a demon bound sword. If you haven't checked out those things, they're called the Eternal Championship series, written by Michael Moorcock. Check it out. They're very small, short books. Good stuff. If that was what I was into, everybody was into Lord of the Rings. I was into that. So anyway, so I like that. I also like sci-fi, but more kind of cyberpunkish sci-fi. I think like Cowboy Bebop or Expanse kind of stuff. I like that. I can do superheroes. I like that too. I have a lot of taste and I can mix and match them. I do like a modern arcade, modern mage thing that I've made up on my own, and I've kind of stolen a lot of stuff from Dresden Files. So
Dresden Files is so good.
Yeah, and and you can use the Fate stuff. It's all in there, and just have it defined and bring it right into Cypher. It fits pretty well. I would like to hear some more tips on your guys' magic. I saw something on one of your things. But yeah, I may be asking questions on the server about that. But yeah, so far it's been going great. Yeah, it's been going great. So
I mean, that's an IP I would love Monte Cook Games to take as the Dresden Files. I think Cypher System is tailor made to run the Dresden Files.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Okay, in my case, favorite is genre for the Cypher System. Well, I would say all of them, but that would be cheating.
No, I think we pretty much all agree on that as well, though.
I think everyone here would say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But to be more specific, I would what I would love to be able to play is a military sci-fi with mecha, as in giant robots saving the battle from within, like Gundam.
I'm thinking about running Starship Troopers.
Oh yeah, that'd be
nice.
good. Would
Yeah.
you like to know more?
Exactly.
And well, that's another
They're
movie I haven't
scared.
seen.
What?
You gotta do
Yeah.
it cheesy like the first movie though.
I haven't
It's
seen-
got to be campy. Yeah.
Al, you gotta go watch Starship Troopers.
We need to start having movie nights on the server now that we have community night here. Another nice community thing would be having like a movie night on the server,
You know
so I can
what-
get
that'd be
all
cool.
caught up.
You know what would be a great idea?
Force Al to watch
have
movies,
the community pick a movie, we watch it together, and then we run a one-shot based on
Oh,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
a gold mine
See,
of an idea.
You gotta roll with good ideas. Like
Yeah.
I watched Lord of the Rings: Two Towers the night before I ran one of my Betwixt games, and the hook was a dwarven fortress is under siege, and you have to go in and help them break that siege. And
Nice.
after watching Two Towers, that was just the perfect vibe to be in.
See that happens all the time. Every time I go to the movies or sit down and watch a movie or a TV show, if it's good, then I'm like, you know what? That would be a great game. You know, because after I watched what was it, Altered Carbon season 2, oh my God, I had to run stuff. So
I mean, I'm under the philosophy, if you're not ripping and stealing from media, books, or whatever to get cool ideas and twist it, you're not doing it right. Like nobody's the greatest, you have to be the greatest writer of all time to have every idea for every session, every scene is an original idea.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
And even some of the greatest writers of all time, like look at Tolkien.
Yeah.
Mount Doom, very inspired.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Now, Lord of the Rings is another one I have not seen or read. Just throwing it out there because you mentioned it.
Oh my god, that's
you
my
guys-
pitch for the first episode. That's
all
my
you
pitch for
guys
the
who
first
are new
episode.
here, all you guys who are new to the server, we'll find out very shortly that Al has the most limited knowledge, out there. But he's phenomenal. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. For all the things he hasn't seen, this dude runs some of the best adventures I have ever played. And this is coming from a guy who's been gaming for over 45 years. He runs awesome
Wow.
games.
Hey, Jason, have you said what your favorite genre is?
So I have two right now. So I'm just because Claim the Sky came out, it's very much supers right now. I'm also I found out Geek and Sundry I guess now almost 3 years ago now. They did Callisto 6, which is a superhero cyberpunk, and so I'm binge watching that. But I do default to sci-fi. The game that I'm prepping for is sci-fi, and it's based on the setting's based on comic book Lazarus. Basically, they have they released source material on the entire setting essentially, and so it's just like, okay, copy paste. There's your world done. Building's done. All right, let's make some characters and stuff. So
That's awesome. Not to self-promote, but that's what I'm gonna do is self-promote. We had Sean K. Reynolds on, the lead designer of Monte Cook Games, run us through a one-shot of Claim the Sky. So if anyone watching this now or on YouTube later on, please go check it out, because it was an awesome experience getting to play with the designer of the game. And we even had Dean arguing with him about a rule that he wrote.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it doesn't work that way. I'm like, yo, I'd rather go with the guy that wrote the rule.
That's the ultimate rules lawyer right there.
That's amazing.
I'm the rules breaker. That's what oh man.
Die my laughter. Don't let it be laughter.
That was actually a great question. Hey, Susan, you answered? Did you say what genre?
I haven't yet. No.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, it's a tough question to answer, honestly. Horror is the genre I most like GMing. If anyone's seen me GM before, I probably GM'd a horror game, or I turned another genre into horror over time. That's kind of tends to be how I like to run my games. And I think the game I really want to run right now that's been in my head since I read Claim the Sky is I don't know if anyone's seen or heard of Animorphs before. I'm
My daughter has
dying
read
to run it.
everyone.
It's
My
so
daughter,
good.
my daughter has read all those books. She had them in paper, and then I had to turn around and get them for her digitally when I bought her a tablet. She loves the Animorphs.
The comic books are coming out right now. They're amazing. There's a movie dropping soon, and I really want to run an Animorphs game one of these days. I just have not had any time.
Well, let us know
Wasn't
what's
there a
going to
TV
happen.
show about that before?
What was that?
Wasn't there an Animorphs TV show back in the day?
We don't talk
Back
about
in the-
that now.
Oh.
That show was great about how bad it was.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
Just like there was not an Avatar: The Last Airbender movie, there was never an Animorphs TV show. It's one of those things that should have happened.
Okay. Sorry, did not know that.
That's actually a great question to lead into something that we could talk about. If there's any IP that you wish Monte Cook Games possessed and could create a game like a written book for, what would that IP be?
I'll answer first.
I said
Mid-
Blessed Files earlier, so that would be my answer.
I guess second would be mine, Madoka Magica. Oh, Zelda. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Right
Oh,
here.
Zelda.
That would be a great
Yeah.
tabletop game.
I'd play that.
I'm looking here in
But
the
how's the
server.
lore? I have a question because I've played most of the Zelda games, but you guys are probably more knowledgeable than I. How would you the Zelda games all centered around like the same core 4 characters in pretty much every game. Like,
Yeah.
how would you expand it to be, less Zelda,
See,
less Link related, and more,
I would make the players villagers in the town that the hero is from, and he keeps coming back to the village and breaking into their houses and taking all their food and money and things, because that's what you do in a video game. And so that makes Link the antagonist to the players.
Love it. I love it.
Flip it on his ear.
A bunch of villagers hunting Link down, and Link is really the evil one all along.
And
I want my rupees back.
they eventually they build up their defenses and traps, and they put monsters in, and they're the dungeon all of a sudden.
That would be awesome.
So what
I'm in.
about
When are you running this?
Sorry, so Jesus, what do you want them to bring? What IP?
I'm gonna go into a pretty weird one. I'll go Dragon Quest. I feel like there's a ton of different subgenres in Dragon Quest that you could like branch off into. So there's a ton of design space to explore. And worst case scenario, we just end up with a like different take on fantasy than the usual like more Western focused fantasy RPG. So I think that'd be a really fun one to look at.
Yeah, I would see that. How about you?
How about you, Mike?
I would like to see Cowboy Bebop. I know it did get picked up. They are doing a Kickstarter. Some other company that I haven't heard of got the IP on it, but yeah, I would really wish. I am working on something. I'm calling it Space Jazz, but anyway. But yeah, I think the whole thing, it would be so great to play. There's cyberpunk elements. There's Western elements. It's pretty cool. So,
Jason?
It's such a tough question, honestly.
That's what we do. We get the hard.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at my shelf right now, like just combing through stuff. Honestly, I would like the movie was terrible, but I love the books. When I was in high school, the Aragon cycle.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
that was,
Yeah.
that was, the movie
I would-
was terrible.
Like, I know they already have a fantasy setting, but like, I would love to see that get justice, done and be able to play in that world. Like when I was reading those books when I was younger, it was like, this is what I want. And I definitely in any of my fantasy games, I always have dragons. They're always playing a big role. They're always at the forefront of my campaign. So, yeah, I think that would go with that.
That's cool. That's a good one too. I like
Yeah,
it.
and I can actually see that's actually an IP that could easily convert it to Cypher.
And with Path of the Planebreaker, there you go. It's a nice
Oh yeah.
drop
Cool.
off
Oh yeah,
there, right?
definitely.
I'm looking forward to that.
definitely, got that kickstarted.
So,
Same
Ernst,
here.
what do you think? What would be your? Oh, I'm sorry, Sam. You want to go next?
Sure, but didn't the Earth already go because he's
Yeah, that's why he
I
asked.
pulled out my
Alright,
Zelda
yeah.
book.
Well, you went with Zelda, right?
That's
Yeah.
a great choice.
Yeah. Anyway, in my case, I am going to have to go with I think one of the more controversial picks because honestly, I have no idea what if it is controversial or not because I'm not sure how things like that go. But what I'm trying to say is, I would go with Sword Art Online, the progressive version of
Oh,
the series. because-
Okay.
Yeah, I was getting a little nervous there. That we were
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with Sword Art. I mean, I don't know much about it, but
Debbie does damage.
Interesting choice
Yeah.
No,
there.
he said he was going with controversial, so everybody's like,
Oh no, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about
Jump button.
so basically, what I'm hearing needs to happen, between
anime world,
the
yeah.
between the chat and you guys here, Monte Cook needs to make a new splat book for anime. That's what they need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
hit it on the head.
a million
Yeah.
times
I
I
just.
think they
Call
need
in some great
anime
manga artists.
And to be honest, they need cyberpunk.
Well, here's the deal. Because see, you guys that question, and for me, it's not that I want to see a particular IP. I'm with you guys. I want to see a Pope splat book, for the Pope era, and I want to see a Wuxia splat book, so we can do all of those great movies like Monkey King and all of that great stuff. Oh, and I forgot to say too, Star Wars was mentioned in the chat as well, being a
That's fair.
I want nothing to do with Star Wars with MCG. Because if you know the history of gaming, any company that has the Star Wars license crumbles
murdered.
and falls apart.
yeah.
So
they
I
do.
want nothing to do with MCG having
The only
Star Wars license.
technically no, not every company because Wizards of
Fantasy
the Coast.
Flight just gave up their
No. Wizards of the Coast Wizards of the Coast is still standing though, and they did do Star Wars.
Yeah.
They
They're
did.
the
yes.
only one. They're the only one. I stand by my statement. Stay away from the Star Wars license.
Fantasy Flight Games is still doing the Star Wars IP though.
No, they did. They lost the Star Wars.
No, it's someplace overseas.
Yeah.
When they
Yeah.
sold the whole company to the big
Yeah.
game board company,
Yeah.
and then they
Right.
split the RPG company
card.
off. So they've got two different things, and I don't think the new RPG company got the license. So
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
And then they're not producing nowhere near the amount of books they were a year and a half ago. 2 years
No,
ago.
they also they dropped the card game. I know that. And
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
yeah, they dropped the card game, which was probably their
was the
At one point, at least
was
their
that
main-
Keyforge? Is that what that was?
Keyforge. Yeah, I think
They
it
were
was.
Keyforge? I didn't know
I think
that.
it was
I don't
Keyforge.
remember.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, either way, Fantasy Flight spent all that money on that license. That's just a hard license to keep and pay for.
You know what? I
Especially
think-
now.
And which
Disney.
is sad because it was a great game. They did a great job with Star Wars too.
But see, they did but everybody plays D&D.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
before we start wrapping this up, I have this one question that I always ask. I know we all Cypher heads. We all love Cypher. Right?
Yeah.
We all love Monte Cook Games, but we also realistic. If there's something that you feel that the system could do better, like what do you wish Cypher System or any of the MCG games would change?
That's a question there.
Yeah.
That's a rough one. Even for me, I'm like, what would I change? Oh,
It's,
God, Sam.
you know,
Or-
it's really, for me, it's not that hard.
I mean, we've addressed this already. Samuel, you want to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see the MCG come as a whole branch out into more than just 5e for their supplement stuff. I mean, not just going. Let me try again. Having their splats in, like the new Path of the Flame Breaker, be more than just 5e compatible, but also be other system compatible to get more people brought into the Cypher system as well.
That's a pretty
That's
good
pretty
one.
Fair.
Jason?
I do think that they're doing with the 5e stuff. I think they are trying to grab a piece of that giant pie that WotC has overtaken. I mean, 5th edition really has done very, very, very well for itself, and so I think it's kind of would be almost irresponsible for them not to come up with something to kind of help draw people in. Because I'm just trying to think, like myself, I'm trying to convert my players to Cypher System. I'm not 100% sure. Like the main, I think, hiccup they have has to do more with being on the grid. Like I think because like the rules are so light and it's nice to be not definitely not as crunchy as 5th edition, but like maybe having rules that are on the grid that are a little bit more crunchier to get those 5th edition guys kind of over, and like, hey, like there's still this crunch and still this fun stuff over here too. That's the only thing I can kind of think of, because that was one of the
Yeah. I would
things.
agree and disagree with that.
Yeah, I don't exactly like that, me saying that, because like I don't like I like the way that Cypher System is laid out, that you don't have to be on the grid. It's you do a theater of the mind. It makes it a lot easier for combat. But like I would say, at least from my group, they love that crunch. They love on the grid. They love that type of play. Like the same way that 5th edition really needs theater of the mind rules, Cypher System could do with some more gritty rules. I would say that.
Yeah, I can agree with that statement. I just think that you don't want to get too far off on what your core principles are to appease someone that wasn't a fan of the system to begin with.
Sure.
I'll say that, and Jason, you and I can have a talk. I can show you how to muddy.
But they are grid rules.
That's what I'm saying. I can show you
Yeah.
how to muddy up Cypher real nicely for people like that.
Okay.
It's not hard to do at all. But
I'd love to join that
I'm
call.
sure it's definitely not hard.
what'd you say, Jesus?
Oh, I'd love to join in that call. That sounds great.
Yeah, we'll sit down and talk about it. I can show you.
Jesus, so what would you wish MCG would do better?
Oh man, still a tough question to answer. That was gonna be mine, so I got to think about it again. But I think the biggest stumbling block I've run into is just like, how do I explain this? I think other systems have done a much better job of like marketing themselves, as far as like they're very distinct characters. When I see, I'm just like, oh, that's a Pathfinder character, that's a Dungeons and Dragons character, that's a World of Darkness character. I can't off the top of my head think of the Cypher System character, but I don't necessarily think that's an issue. Also, just I have trouble running Slice of Life personally in Cypher System. I've had to go to other systems to do it. It's the only genre I haven't quite figured out yet. So maybe a little book, and I think that's coming out soon with the with the next book we're getting. So a lot of the problems that I have are pretty much being solved already.
That's actually a great point. You know, I do think they don't have that iconic. I mean, I would think Numenera would be if I think Numenera is very distinctive. If I saw a picture of a nano, I'll be like, that's Numenera, that's a nano, or that's a light. But if you're a fan of Cypher System and not directly Numenera, yeah, I think that Numenera is probably the only system, the only setting that has a very clear defined style, like what Claire said in chat. But you're absolutely right. It doesn't have that. Numenera is probably the only one that's closest to those iconic characters.
So what would you think, Mike?
Well, I'm still kind of in my honeymoon stage, so it's kind of hard for me to look at it that way. I think as Monte Cook as a whole, I wasn't real happy about. I would have liked to get into Invisible Sun a little bit. It seemed like it could have been kind of my jam, but it's hard to find because it was such a limited run and it was a beautiful looking game. I've never got my hands on it. It was kind of after my time, but I mean, I think it now I've got the PDFs and stuff, but it would have been nice to be able to get some of the other things. And now I can't really get my hands on those things unless I want to win an auction or something. By the way, if anybody's up to, I can trade some things, but anyway. But anyway, I guess that would be one thing maybe, but I know that they're under constraints for their time. So yeah, that, and I understand there are ways of making it crunchy, and I just kind of reply to that. So which would be, you know, not every system's for every player, and it's okay. And I think that's why it's so important to do session zeros and have that and lay it on the floor. And if you're with the same guy, I've been with the same group of guys for 20 years, and there's some games they just won't play. And I can, you know, try and sell it all I want. But if I do get them in there and they don't want to play it, it's not going to be fun. So, you know, don't give up. I think Anthony was saying, or I believe was saying, you know, don't give up on your ideals just to get your guys to play. You know, if it's not for them and you want to play it, hey, come to Cypher Unlimited. I'm sure you'll find somebody that'll play with you, right? So anyway, I'm sorry that was kind of a roundabout answer.
Oh, that's great. Ertz?
You know what? I think Stormbringer there actually brought up a very good point about the actual availability of the physical copies. I've only actually seen the PDFs. I have never seen a physical copy of any of the Cypher System books. I'm Canadian up here in Alberta, and you know, we've got lots of game stores, and I could buy any D&D book. I could buy I've seen other RPG game systems. There's lots of great you know, comic hobby shops here. But if I want a physical copy of one of the Cypher System books, I'm paying $180 in like an Amazon resold capacity. So that's that, you know, if they could, you know, send a few more books to Canada, that would that'd be great for me.
That's a freaking great point. That's my gripe. I've mentioned it multiple times. Me and Dean have argued about this multiple times. Kickstarter. I know why Kickstarter is their core thing, but Earth is the perfect example. If you're not jumping in on the Kickstarter from day one, and I'm fortunate enough to have backed every Kickstarter. I have every book, but that's not everyone. I just wish that MCG would throw us a bone every year of, hey, this is not coming to Kickstarter. This is like the perfect example would be the CSR Bestiary. Just put it out there, create the book, and put it out there to purchase for everyone to get. You know, send it out. You know, like I understand why Kickstarter is the business model because they are the kings of Kickstarter. But throw me a freaking bone every once in a while. Like throw throw your fans a bone where you don't have to have Kickstarter set up, like back at Kickstarter and wait several months for the product, and give people the opportunity to go to a store and buy it. And
Well, something else that I'm going to throw out there, and I've been doing it in my local area, and it has worked. If you guys notice, every time Monte Cook does do a Kickstarter, though, there is a retailer level or merchant level. And I've basically have become like the MCG cheerleader at all my local game stores. And they've been doing them. They've been doing the Kickstarter.
yeah, but the problem with that is you're still waiting 20 months to receive the
No,
book.
I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying what Kurt's been saying, where you don't see anything on the shelf. There are plenty, and I'm actually talking to a couple places about trying to see if they want to become, direct distributors for Monte Cook. I mean, I know it's not your job to, fund your local stores and all that kind of stuff, but that's kind of what I've been doing, is trying to get them to be aware as well. And I get what you're saying too, Ad, about having something just come out.
Yeah, Ertz, you only purchased PDFs?
Yeah, that's all I've got. Like the PDF works out to like $60 Canadian, so that's doable. And Godforsaken I picked up that was like 30, I think. So that's what I've got for playing my games with. And I'd love to see a physical copy of just the Cypher System rules book, or even that beautiful Tolis book. But it just it's the way things get shipped. It's
It's terrible right now.
Yeah, it's awful. And there's more at play in the world than just Monte Cook Games publishing thing. There's the whole world right now is having shipping problems. So that's not just on Monte Cook. But it's like I did a lap around. Like I went to the biggest bookstore in Alberta. It's actually the Chapters in West Edmonton Mall, and they had their gaming shelf. There's 8 feet of shelves, and they had half of it was D&D books. They had a whole bunch of the Ravenloft and the new Haunted Carnival, some such. And then the other half, there was Pathfinder and a few other ones, and a bunch of Critical Role books.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
that sounds right.
Let me ask you a question. If you could get one physical MCG book right now, what book would you want to get?
Either just the core second edition book or Tolis.
I got you. You're breaking my heart right now. Right after this interview, I will purchase it, and just send me your address.
Oh,
And I'll
you-
send it to you.
Anthony, I'll go in on that with you.
I was gonna say, I feel so
Just text
bad
me your
too.
address. You'll send me a DM right after this, and I'll send it to you.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. That is incredibly generous of you guys. I didn't come in here to beg for books.
I'm not saying that.
No,
and I'm not
we know
asking
that.
for
We know
praise.
that.
Happening now.
You're literally breaking my heart right now, and I promise you, I will send you the copy of the book. Just
Well,
DM me in the chat your address.
oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. Whew.
Awesome. I will say this real fast.
This is actually
go-
out. This is a perfect lead-in for what our big announcement.
Oh, do you want to do it, or you want me to do it?
Yeah, no, you can do it.
All right, so yeah, Anthony's the generous heart giving away a nice book here, to a lovely member. But if you've been a part of our community in the past, or for a while now, you've probably seen us do a giveaway or two in the past. And guess what? We're about to do it again. We're going to try to celebrate either reaching 1K subscribers on YouTube or reaching 4K members on the Cypher Unlimited Discord. Once we hit either of those milestones, we'll do another giveaway for everyone. We'll give away books, PDFs, all that sorts of things. Maybe even throw in a couple sessions with us as GMs. We still haven't really fleshed out a list of prizes yet. But yeah. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Definitely tell your friends to subscribe to the YouTube. Follow us or join the Discord if they enjoy tabletop role playing games and have not joined yet. Yeah. So be on the lookout for that, and we are very, very excited to hit these milestones.
Yeah, if you watched a lot, we gave over $3,000 worth of MCG books, PDFs last time around. So I guarantee you it will be well worth it. And who knows, they might be in Invisible Sun Cube somewhere hidden underneath my closet that might be available to be out for the giveaway. So, stay tuned, and yeah, we'll love to hit 1,000 members on YouTube. So please, if you have not, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, because we really want to bring our counts up there. We want to bring our numbers up there. So if you can do that for us, we would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, but before we wrap up here, because we are getting towards the end here, we had a bunch of questions for y'all. Did y'all have any questions for us? Whether it be the audience or you guys, yeah. Go ahead.
I didn't have any.
I personally have a question for you guys that are the hosts. That is, when are we going to ever do that to tell us that I asked you guys if we were going to do it all?
Like a Tallest actual play?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what the issue with us is? Like, we're not very organized, and we have several things that we have in place. We have our own actual play, and to be quite honest, is that when we bring someone into our channel to run a game, we have to screen them first. And we actually this is the first time we've even seen you on camera, so we could definitely sit down and work something out. I'm the person to talk to about that, and we could gladly have that discussion off camera, and and we'll figure out exactly what the process will be for you to do it. But and I'm not just speaking from just Cypher Unlimited. I think it's pretty much most channels. It isn't a good business decision to allow someone to run a game on your channel unless you actually know them first. So, like we actually, this is us getting to know each other. So, now that we know you, we could definitely, make some steps to possibly make that happen for you.
Okay.
Anybody else?
I got a question. When are you going to do more than one show a week?
Oh.
Damn, shots fired right immediately in our faces. Like,
hey, I asked the deep, hard-cutting questions.
Let me take this one.
One game to play.
I will say that now that I don't have a job, I've quit my job. If you haven't been in the loop here in the community or on Twitter or whatever have you, I quit my job at the start of the year because it was too stressful. And I've been slowly gaining the energy to do more Cypher system related things or just gaming things in general. If you've been on the Discord server, you've seen I've posted 2 or 3 games in the past 2 weeks. So yeah, hopefully once I get my reserves back up and once I get a little more comfortable running games, me personally would love to do something once a week where I do like maybe a small like home game field type actual play or something like that, just so people can see that not everybody has to be Matt Mercer or whatever have you. They could just have fun with the system. They don't have to be all, finished product type whatever deal. If you've played in my games, I've run a very loose, fun game. Yeah, that's something I definitely would love to do more often.
Yeah, I think all 3 of us have talked about it. And I got to get with Al, but we got to get our time back. Everybody is quite busy. But both Anthony and I, work. Al's lucky, he gets to stay home and game. Jerk.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with me and Dean both work 50 hours a week on our normal jobs, and I have 3 small children, one who's on the spectrum, so a lot of my time gets dedicated to other things. But we definitely do want to do more stuff. We do want to create more content for you guys. We do want to, have more of you guys on, have more games run. It's, and another thing, to be realistic, we're just a bunch of lazy asses that we got to kick ourselves in the butt to get it done. So, but yeah, we definitely, that is our New Year's resolution for this year.
And get more stuff going. Anything else?
On the note of the Spectrum, I'm on it as well.
Yeah, my son is 5, and it's been difficult, but he's been advancing. It's just about having patience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
My parents will agree with you on that. Yes.
well, guys, I think this was awesome. I had a great time chatting with you. We did get a lot of responses, so we're probably going to be doing another one of these relatively soon, maybe the next month or so, to get some more of the community on. But everybody out there on the, in the chat, and everybody out there in the interwebs that are joining us tonight, thank you so much. We are like totally and utterly, humble in the face of all of this. We love you guys. You guys, thanks for coming on the show. Sam, Jason, Jesus, Urizt, and Mike, thank you all for being here. And, with that being said, that's going to be closing out the show. And I'm going to throw it over to
No,
Anthony.
Dean, we got to ask them about their social medias. And
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, guys. Do you, we're going to start with Sam. How can people find you, or do you want to plug anything, Sam?
Well, okay, so you can find me on Twitter at Samuel K. Kaufman, and you can also find me as an author on 2 different platforms. Royal Road, the story that I had linked for you guys is in the chat right now. And you can also find me on my Medium profile, samuelkkaufman.medium.com, and I am also a game dev sometimes.
Oh,
So
sick.
when I get to the point where I can actually release a game, you can find me on itch.io. My handle there is Intersect Games, because I'm the guy that runs the company right now. Intersect Games, that is. It's a startup company. What can I say?
Hey, it's great. Awesome.
Yeah.
And
You got to hustle hard.
I myself am not really a social butterfly on social media, so I'm actually gonna plug my wife. Her website is whereastudio.com, and I see that Al has put it in the chat. And she's open for commissions. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the Discord as JamXRunner, and I'll be in Twitch as JamXRunner, but not much of a Facebook's Twitter type of guy.
That's no problem. I try to avoid it as well.
Yeah.
And we'll go with Jesus.
All right. So for the last year and a half or so, I've been working on a card game that is going to be releasing soon called Gridmon. It is a kind of monster tamer battler game where you play someone who controls a team of monsters that is battling the other opponents. And that's something that I really wanted to plug. Outside of that, just find me on my Twitch at Jesus20456. And thanks so much for letting me.
Jesus, I want to say something. I'm a little offended. I've never got invited to playtest.
I currently don't have a playtest. I can't say why, but yeah, it's gonna be available real soon, and I would love.
Dude, I'm your first GM. You didn't invite me to playtest.
I mean, Jesus,
Yeah.
Jesus, we let you into a game that we put on the air, and you didn't call us. We haven't been.
I've been waiting for it to be good.
like the excuses.
It is pretty
Them or
fun.
you?
I have played it. I said it in the chat. It is fun. So
These
don't,
guys-
not to rub it in your faces or anything like that,
Oh, we see how it is.
but I have played it.
I see how. Anthony, we're too old.
Yeah.
No.
He thinks we're senile. We won't get the rules, right? You know. Look, I'm not in a wheelchair. I can stand up. I don't need a walker.
No, D, we're not the cool kids.
You know.
I mean, you guys aren't wearing
Mohawk
sunglasses, right?
Like
We're them two old guys. We don't wear sunglasses at night like Al.
Oh my
And with
god.
that
I need
being
to grow
said,
my
I'm
little
gonna.
hair I have and get in a mohawk to get into this place.
No.
I'm
I'll
gonna
have a
have to.
playtest ready within 2 weeks.
What,
I'd
what's the
love to
name of
have
the
you.
game again? And promote it. I'm sorry, we ruined your whole promotion.
Oh, sorry. The name of the game is Gridmon. It's a living card game. Comes with everything you need to play. There's no booster packs or anything like that. The game is going to come with a single player mode, cooperative modes where you can play with your friends. Obviously, it's a competitive game as well. There's going to be a fully written out story mode during the game, and I'm going to be releasing more, assuming I hit some stretch goals. And that's the current plan right now. Thank you so much for letting me talk about this.
Also, and the average age, the age is 12 to 27, and no one has. No, I just-
Say like eight plus. It's probably good. It'll be a fun time for anyone who plays.
I'm looking at you, Stormbringer. You can't play.
What?
Yeah, I told you, man.
Am I over age? Hey,
They were over
that's
age, you know
ages. That's
I'm so sorry.
All kidding aside, we love Jesus. Jesus has been on the show multiple times. He's one of our usual castmates when we run actual plays. We just busted his chops a little.
Because we're not cool.
Yeah.
You are cool. That's why I'm.
I mean, wait a minute. Look,
Yo, hold on, D. Before you go-
I can do this too. Now, is that better?
Oh, yeah, man.
Internet.
And we're gonna let Urizt, you know, bring us home. Urizt, you know, where can people find you? What you want to plug? What you want to tell people about?
Alrighty, well, you can find me on the Cypher Unlimited Discord under Urizt, and my Twitch is under Broden88. I have been uploading some content from my Cypher System homebrew game there. I've actually got a listing right now on the Looking for Group one-shots for this coming Saturday evening, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. If people want to tune in and listen to me make funny voices or fail to make funny voices when I forget which NPC is which, and listen to my players get into some drunken, violent shenanigans while enjoying the adventure. It's a fun time, and if anyone is interested in perhaps brewing up a fantasy appropriate character to join in, there's a couple slots there.
Awesome. I gotta check because I'm a dumbass. I gotta check what's the difference between Eastern and Mountain Time.
Yo, Mountain Time is my time. You know it. Right now it's 2 hours.
2
Well,
hours.
it turns to 3 hours for me, but
You played in that playtest and then invite me.
Yeah.
oh boy.
Yeah, awesome. And Stonebringer closes out. Where can you be reached? And you got anything you want to promote?
Well, yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of things. I actually do have a big job, but yeah, just reach out to me on the server. I'm going to keep it there. I do buy, sell, and trade vintage role-playing game books and other games and so forth. So if you're looking for it, I most likely have it. I have various degrees, so just hit me up over there if you're looking for something special, or if you want to trade for something. I'm also looking for that. You know, I mentioned earlier, like 5th edition fancy limited covers. I can trade for those, and like, but you'll end up getting like maybe 1st edition books or something. So,
And if you have an extra copy of Invisible Sun lying around, he's definitely open to some trades.
we do some trades on that.
And if you like us and you like what we do, please join the Cypher Unlimited Discord server. We have the largest fan-run Discord server for all things Monte Cook Games. The games being played daily. Like you even heard, Urizt just posted a one-shot. You could meet him there and join in on this one shot at the time lot of provides. If Discord is not for you, join our Facebook group. It's not as big as our Discord, but there's great conversations being had there daily. So we appreciate if you go give us a follow there on Facebook as well. Oh, please, 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 we can't stress this enough. Please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our channel, or give us a follow and a subscribe here on Twitch. Our videos will always be free, but we really would appreciate the support. Give us a little donation on Ko-fi. It helps us out with little things like Zoom course. Like we said, we always do our content for free. We don't make any money off this. This is just little thing, that little money we do get from that. It helps us do with our daily operations of making these videos. And go to the online store and pick up some cool Cypher Unlimited merch, like the hat and shirt that D got on. You'll be the coolest kid on the block wearing some Cypher Unlimited stuff. And I think I got everything. Last but not least, we love you guys.
And I'm just going to throw this in there. 1,000K, 1,000, 1K, you know what? It's a giveaway. 4K, it's a giveaway. So come on, people, join us.
And we are only 200 people away from either one of those milestones, whatever hits first. You could go to our YouTube channel and watch our last giveaway. Monte Cook Games is gracious enough. They usually give us 20 to 30 books to give out. They usually give us gift coupons, gift cards, not to mention that we're really cool with all the Cypher creator designers. So if most of the designers that are on the top 10 list of the Cypher creator program give us free PDFs to give out, and the three of us put in a substantial amount of our own money and purchase products to also give away. So it's always somewhere between $300 to $3,500 worth of product that we'll be giving away. So it's well worth it to go and join the Discord, join our YouTube, and get be a part of this raffle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Al?
Thank you guys so much for stopping by, watching. Thank you all for joining us tonight, having this little chat. It was definitely a lot of fun. Looking forward to chatting with more community members, because there were definitely a lot of interested parties. Thank you again so much. We'll chat it up on the Discord as usual after this. This will be up on YouTube tomorrow with all the appropriate links for everybody. Thank you again so much. And from us at the CU, we will see you later.
Indeed.
Bye, guys.